Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn yesterday weighing in on the illegal protest outside of Supreme Court justices' homes. Joining me now to weigh in, editor-in-chief of TrishIntel.com, host of the Trish Regan Show, Trish Regan, along with political analyst Mark Halperin. Great to have you both as always. Trish, you know, I believe these protesters should be prosecuted. As the senator stated, 18 U.S. Code 1507 states, quote, pickets or parades in or near a building housing a court of the U.S. or in or near a building or residence occupied or used by such judge, juror, witness, or court officer shall be fined or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. Trish, it doesn't get any clearer than that, yet Biden's brain, Jen Psaki, states the White House supports breaking this law. It's jaw-dropping, no?
Yeah, it's absolutely jaw-dropping. I mean, look, this strikes me as kind of an attempt to intimidate these justices. I don't think anything's going to change what their opinion is, but the fact that this is becoming so political, you know, I guess we should expect it at this point. I think everything the Democrats have done, the administration has done, always has a political undertone or even overtone to it. So I don't mean to be cynical. We should expect it. This is all they got going, by the way. Let's be very clear, because the economy sure isn't helping them, and the situation overseas isn't helping, and the border's a mess, and we got new data on drug overdoses. So, I mean, we're in bad shape. So now I guess they figure if they can get these protesters out there and they're outside the homes, they show that, oh, the country's so upset about this, maybe they'll be able to get people to the ballot boxes this November. I think that's the methodology.
Well, let's just talk about that with Mark. Mark, you know the Democrat politicians and the voters better than me. From every Democrat, save West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, voting for abortion right up until birth, to the promotion of illegal immigration, to the Ministry of Truth Censorship Board, to now openly promoting breaking the law. Is this what Democrat voters vote for and expect from their politicians? And if not, how do all these revelations impact the fall elections, if at all?
I need about 3 hours to answer that, Chris. Can I get 3 hours, or no? That'd be kicking into the next show.
I hear you.
Look, this is complicated because the Democratic Party is controlled by the far left, just as much the Republican Party is controlled by the far right. I don't think either party's currently stated position on abortion, for instance, is in line with the majority of the American people. The Democrats there's an asymmetry here. They have a disadvantage, which is they are the ruling party right now. And so the unhappiness that voters feel about them is, I think, going to be the dispositive factor in the midterms. And they're trying to energize their base around this issue. I think until we see the decision, it'll be hard to know if it works. But certainly, they would rather talk about abortion rights than they would about all the other litany of things you just mentioned.
True. Well, let me get you guys to weigh in on this, because this is something that I think I want you both, give me about a minute apiece, will you? You got Joe Biden out there saying, here's my plan to combat inflation. He's acting like he's on the campaign trail, and he's saying, here's the plan for the Republicans, and this is why it's wrong. He's pretending, Trish, he's not sitting in the Oval Office and doing all this stuff to us. Do you think that the Americans are hip to this?
I think so, and I think Mark's absolutely right. I mean, whether they're hip to it or not, or whether, you know, Biden wants to admit it or not, when people go to cast their vote, they're basically, I suspect, going to blame whoever's in charge. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality for the Democrats. Good news for the conservatives. Look, there is so much, and like Mark, I need about 3 hours, but there is so much that easily could have been done. I'm talking really low-hanging fruit here to have fixed this economy, or to have at least prevented the massive inflation we're seeing now, starting with maybe not having a $1.9 trillion spending bill, maybe not sending out that third COVID stimulus check when you got a Federal Reserve that was printing like there was no tomorrow, the most in our money supply that we've ever seen. I mean, you had monetary and fiscal stimulus coming in simultaneously for one big giant bonanza.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't think that that would cause inflation? The Keystone Pipeline, another great example. There are multiple things this administration could have, should have done.
Right. And Mark, he's sitting up there basically arguing, saying, you know, if I'm elected, I'm going to come in and I'm going to take care of this with my plan. It's like, dude, your plans are in place right now and harming Americans. Do you think they're going to be able to get away with this sophistry? Obama could pull it off. Can Biden?
You know, Chris, I was in a diner in Wisconsin yesterday, and all anybody was talking about was Rick Scott's plan. Kidding. the president thinks he can make Rick Scott the centerpiece of his strategy. I just don't think it's going to work. I think the White House knows that, but it is the best they have because he gave a major speech. I put air quotes around that. Didn't have anything new to announce. As Trish said, there are plenty of things that could be done in terms of energy supply and production, in terms of government spending, in terms of even just jawboning more effectively. It's not doing it. And the American people don't want to hear that he cares about inflation. They expect him to solve the problem, which most economists would say, at least partly, was caused by his own policies.
See, the major speech. I'm laughing right along with you, and you're right. Biden says he tries to pull a Clinton. Yeah, I really care about your suffering. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm not going to do a damn thing about it, but I really care about your suffering. Thank you, Mark Halperin, Trish Regan. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.